Alright guys, welcome to another day, another adventure, another vlog. Kind of doing a vlog anyways when you're during this quarantine, there's nothing much to do. This is the other part of Rio de Janeiro. I've done the beaches, we've done Ipanema in your video, we've done Copacabana, the popular beaches which are totally desolate right now. This street is usually desolate. When you arrive in Rio, if you arrive by bus, you get a bus just down there where the camera's heading now. And it's a long walk, about 2-hour walk this way to get to the city centre, and about 4 hours walk to get to Copacabana. When I first arrived here 2 years ago, I walked a long way and it's absolutely beautiful. Like, if you first time seeing Rio de Janeiro, it brought a tear to my eye, and I'm getting older, you know. But yeah, if it's your first time coming to Rio, it's gonna shock you just how beautiful it is. Just the landscapes and the hills, you can't see it right now, but you have the hills that look like something out of you know, those adventure games, you know, those adventure computer games you see when you see the hills. I mean, the city is a bit dirty, a bit rough, you know. When people think about Rio, the piece, oh, it's a shithole, it's horrible. Yeah, you do get like 90% of that. 92% of it is kind of dirty, favela, kind of people who just kind of, you know, desperate for money. I mean, it's not their fault, they're in poverty, they desperately need money. This is really nice. This quarantine is going on now during the coronavirus. If you're watching this is April 2020. I can't remember the date. No, I can. But yeah, they got this ferry here. They always have a ferry here like almost every single day. But I'm wondering what this is doing here, because obviously they should be on lockdown. There shouldn't be any people going on ferries together. Maybe this is stuck here until lockdown's over. But yeah, this is the famous paintings you see. You might have seen these paintings all around. Everyone's keeping the 6 feet distance. Everywhere's just shut down. I've just been to the bank, and even the bank is it's in the station, and hardly any of them open. And the whole bank's just locked down. Yeah, I mean, look at this. When I first arrived here, they just shocked me how detailed and beautiful, lush it is. You have paintings from the kind of Aboriginal people who lived here, because I think Rio de Janeiro was discovered like maybe 1890s, something like that, the late 19th century, and since then they had the slave trade, lots of slaves working to try and build up the place, which is obviously terrible. They've done some, and you see down there where I showed you before, the painting of the black guy, the black slave, all ripped and muscular, looking like you know, to be the hero of Rio. And that's so if you come to, obviously there's racism everywhere. There's balance in the world. Like if you're black, if you're Asian or something, there is places that love that kind of people. That's what I've seen about the world. When once you travel the world, you see balance in this world. You might think, oh, my race, people don't like me, girls don't like me, or guys don't like me. And I mean, you shouldn't give a shit about what anyone else thinks, because everyone only cares about themselves deep down. If you're not getting anyone sexually attracted to you, that's a good thing, because you don't have anyone to use you, abuse you, or to, you know, take advantage of you, because that's all it is. If people just want to use you for sex, money, or whatever, you know, that's the nature of all human beings. You see these people here, these people who built this world that we live in with hard work, blood, sweat and tears, they deserve respect. You know, they don't know the luxuries, you know, that we have, that us humans are made to become poison, and, you know, only caring about money, you know, and using each other. But yeah, like I said, if you're black and you come to Rio, they love it. They love you here. I don't know, it sounds racist, but like that's what I said. There's balance everywhere. If you're Chinese, if you're Asian, these people around the world who love that. You know, it just depends where you go. I've travelled the world and I've had racism against me. I get racism against me in Rio. I'm not here for people. I don't travel for people, because travelling for anything biological is just retarded. Because people, anything biological always changes, is always dying, and is only thinking about themselves before they die. You know, because they're dying second by second. Anything biological. Except animals are cool, you know, except for animals, because they're real, they're honest, they don't lie, they don't need to lie for fakery. But yeah, I mean, when I was in Buenos Aires, I kind of, the girls actually kind of like me more there, the women, you know, but because I'm white, you know, and they have maybe a bit of racism against blacks, because they're not seen as they see Christ the Redeemer, the hills, but they're not kind of not as much as some places in Eastern Europe, only some places, but like I said, there's balance everywhere. If you go to Manchester, they love the black people, the African Americans. They are seen as exotic, but people as white as me, pale skin, we're not seen as exotic. Then you go to another place and it's the complete opposite. And then you find that all around the world. You find that Asians are really respected in Korea with the pale skin, or even places like Russia. They have a thing for the slim, kind of lithe, athletic kind of Asian build, the skinny kind of build. Even in Buenos Aires right now, they're not really into like the huge, big, muscular guys. They love the kind of slim, kind of in suits, kind of look like you play guitar kind of guy. So if you're Asian there, like most people, a lot of people are Asian, Japan, especially Japanese, really slim. They really like that. As long as you take care of yourself and respect yourself, that's all it comes down to. So you find that everywhere, you find balance everywhere. So it's not unfair that you're born a certain race. All you have to do is just get up off your ass, like I did, and push yourself to get out and explore the world. That's the way we should live. We're not supposed to live in these boxes. Obviously, you're not going to get everything you ever wanted in where you were born. Just being born and then just like walking on the street and just thinking, oh, that's everything I ever wanted. Time to get married now and time to settle down. That's for weak people. Weak people do that and they end up miserable, when they finally wake up, not achieving their potential. It's the law of the universe. You feel it everywhere. You just got to push yourself to go past all limitations for adventure and the real things in life, and you'll get rewarded and you'll get fulfillment. And it's all about that until death, Eventually you do get too tired, like everyone else does. But yeah, that's the law of life, People who stay in the same place, stay in any kind of limitations, boxes, work, race, ignorance, age. Obviously there's a limitation in age, but any kind of limitation, any kind of numbers, language, any kind of limitation, in the mind, anyone stays in that, it's going to come around and it's going to kill them. I've seen it a million times before. I'm just happy to have freedom now. I've reached a level now where I've travelled the world, and my anticipation of achieving my dreams of traveling the world, my life's got to be like, people who travel the world, they want their life to be like a movie, like an adventure movie, and I fulfilled that part of my life. I've done what I need to do in South America, and now I just feel at peace. Like I'm just in Rio de Janeiro, and I could actually just lay on the beach every day, drink coconut, and watch and get paid for it, and that didn't come easy. That didn't come just by sitting on my ass in Manchester and doing nothing. That came from like they say, the universe gives I don't want to say God, because there might not be non-believers here, everyone believes in whatever they want. The universe gives the hardest fights for the strongest warriors, and they get rewarded for that. Yeah, but if you stay in any kind of limitation I've seen all around the world, like people think, oh, you're English, oh, you're white, oh, you're thinking that means this. No, if people stay in that kind of limitation, 90% of people like that are like that anyway, but they end up miserable. You see it, they're always addicted. They may not look miserable because they're always trying to put on a facade that they're not. They're always trying to, with words, and even words, language, everybody lies. So you just got to push past all limitations to reach freedom. And I do think that I don't want to say I'm going to give up now and just this is it for me. I'm just going to retire and lay on the beach all day. But it's just nice to have that security. Nice to know that I can now just have free health. Because obviously, I don't trust things when things are going too well, when things are too peaceful, because that's where there's no growth in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the growth zone, So you just gotta keep on pushing past all limitations, and you will reach freedom, not the freedom, not the like perfect paradise like heaven or whatever that you've been raised to believe, or any kind of nirvana or whatever you believe. Obviously, I keep an open mind to believe in anything and nothing at the same time. But yeah, you just gotta keep on pushing. It is hard when you're young, when you first start off, but that's what's so thrilling about it. That's where the adventure is. If it was easy, it wouldn't be exciting. You wouldn't feel proud of yourself. You wouldn't feel anything good. When I first started, sometimes I wish I could feel that fear. When You know, when I first started, when I was packing my bags and I was leaving the country, I was on the run from getting arrested in England, and I didn't agree with. I got arrested for literally nothing, for showing my emotions and getting into a fight. And I was supposed to turn up to court, but I fled the country instead because I just thought, I'm not going to be a slave to this corrupt system anymore. And the way I see it in America and England, it's really gone downhill. It's really all about fakery 24/7, and it's just nothing real about it. And that's why they're so miserable. That's why they're covered in 10 coats of makeup, and they're miserable completely. And I said I have to get to somewhere where there's nature and real, and I can feel as young as I want and be as young as I want, as long as I can try to be, you know, with the real nature here. After the sea and the sun and the nature here, you just feel complete. You know, you don't have a desperate need to scratch anything. Like, oh no, I'm unfulfilled, I've got to get some money, I've got to get some sex, I've got to get something. You know, that urge that keeps you awake at night, that fire. And that's what I had when I was in England. You know, I had to get somewhere, I had to, that push that kept me awake at night, that kept me pushing past all limitations. And now I feel the peace inside. That's the most important thing, the inner peace, because that affects your hormones, it affects everything. And when it affects your hormones, it affects your skin, it affects your bones, it affects everything. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Start waffling. You can tell I don't prepare these videos, but yeah, this is the main. So if you arrive in Rio, this is what you first see. Obviously, it would be a bit more packed. When they had the World Cup on here, they had a big screen and everyone sharing, and everyone together. This is a futuristic museum. When you come to the sea, I went down that way. I went round that way and then you walk next to the sea. I'm going to go to the city centre now, get something to eat, get some pizza. Having my rest day today. I'm hiking now with a big bag on my shoulder. So yeah, I've just done my workout, so I'm going to get me pizza. And this is what, when I first saw this, I just thought, after Buenos Aires, polluted Buenos Aires, I came here and just saw the sea, and I turned around that corner and you see the mountains. I won't ruin it for you. But when you see the mountains, it's just absolutely beautiful. I might walk that way actually, because there's nowhere open for pizza until I get to the main city. Yeah, let's walk this way. Yeah, I'll show you what I first saw when I first arrived, and it brought a tear to my eye. It kind of felt like I just made it. Let's hop up here. This is where I stood for the World Cup. They had a big screen where those trees were, and I stood during the Croatia match, England versus Croatia, when they lost. Made it to the semi-finals. Yeah, great day, absolutely epic. But yeah, when I first saw the sea here is a bit dirty, and you first reach Flamenco, which isn't the nicest beach, but then eventually you've got to walk through the city to get to Copacabana. It takes about 4 hours, 3 hours at least. Yeah, I'll just show you what I saw when the first thing that brought a tear to my eye. You know, nothing ever makes me cry. It didn't make me cry, you just brought a tear to my eye. You know when you get that chill down your spine, when you follow, I don't want to sound cheesy, but you know, you follow your heart, you follow your instinct, and you go the distance. Because first it starts off with discomfort. You're in bed and you're thinking, oh God, I'm not happy, I've got to do, you know. And then people, if you're beautiful, if you're fake, or if you're spoilt, then you get spoilt with lies that make you stay in that misery. But if you're not, then you get hell. You get hell, and then but that's useful hell. That's always useful. You got to go through hell to get to heaven. You got to fight through that, and then once you fight through it, it took me. I'm not gonna lie. It might take you. If you read, I don't want people to watch this and think that there's the boat to Niterói, beautiful city Niterói, where the cool, beautiful people of Rio de Janeiro are. But yeah, I don't want people to watch this and think, oh no, it's going to take me too long. I need to get to success or freedom or to happiness now, you know. But it might take a few years. But it doesn't. Over day, like when I first left the country, when I first fled the country, it felt like I was in a movie. You know, I was on the run from the police. You know, I wasn't allowed to leave the country. But I eventually fled the country, and they had the police after me, wanted, you know, for fleeing the country when I was supposed to sit up for court. And I went to work in the Netherlands for 16 months. I met this girl in New York, you know, when I was as I was young and stupid, and thinking, oh, I was in love, but everybody falls in love in New York. And I still do. I think she's adorable. Whenever I think about it, I think she's the most adorable thing ever. But I don't believe in love. That sounds, really cold. I believe in love for animals and love for nature and love for your health and love for anything else. But I was stupid and naive. And I think everyone fights through that because they're raised by Disney and by, television to think, you got to be the hero, you got to have the sword, and you got to get the girl, you got to protect the girl, And I think that's all to try and get us to fall in love, to be miserable, to eventually fall for the trap, to be miserable, and then you end up confused, then you end up consuming chocolate and all the fast food and everything, and then you end up keeping the companies in business. See, this is so peaceful the way they just sat by the sea. I saw someone up here for the first time 2 years ago, and they were just playing guitar and reading by the sea on the rocks, and I just thought, this is it. I mean, even in pictures it just doesn't do justice. But yeah, I think, I could be wrong, the law of love might exist, but I don't think I'm capable of love ever again after what I've been through. If you go through hell to get to paradise, I think it might be the same with everyone. Everyone tough who's got to freedom and paradise, or any kind of freedom. I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm not saying I'm this great person who's reached freedom or anything. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think right now I'm just in love with my life and freedom. I don't believe in love. I believe in sex. I believe in sex is like the only exchange of pleasures. I believe people do help each other out if you're struggling. People are struggling, but in most first world countries, there's no caring, there's no love, there's no anything, because people don't care about themselves. But I do believe in sex. I believe that sex is the only natural exchange of pleasures. I might get a lot of hate for that, but if you get older, you'll probably understand. I don't know, you probably see. That sounds really arrogant, I know. I don't give a shit. The video's gonna get up for swearing, but yeah, when you see someone, you have that urge to get down in your stomach. That's real and natural. But then people want to know you. People want to know, oh, what's your age? What's your nationality? What's your this? And people try, especially younger, they try and sum you up because they want you to be perfect. And no one's ever perfect. No one ever can fit into that. Obviously, guys can lie, which they do 99.9% of the time, and just so they can get sex. But I don't need to lie. I get pissed off because I never lie. That's why I like to be single, because I don't like lies. It just causes more stress. Like, you have to live up to some kind of reputation, and then obviously stress leads to bad sex, because obviously when you get stressful, that's you can't perform in the bedroom. Even when I meet a hot girl, like off Instagram, I met this hot girl she's a massage therapist. She's great. She's a princess in Fortaleza, and I had sex with her, and I kind of it caused a lot of stress. Like, I think, she's coming over to my hotel room. I've got to work out. I've got to be perfect. I've got to be just like my Instagram photos, but better. I've got to be 100 times better than the Instagram photos, because photos can lie. So you got to put this image in your head, and people think, you got to prepare for sex. All these videos with Alpha M and everything. This is what I first saw. This is the first time it came into my eye, as pussy as it sounds. That's when I saw Niterói, and I just thought, this is it. This is the place. This is the adventure that I'm going to have. I didn't think it would last a year or a year and a half. But I've been back and forth into Peru and everything. Okay, I need to stick on more subjects. So yeah. But yeah, I saw this and thought, this is the Nathan Drake Uncharted adventure I've been looking for, and it came to my eye. They have planes that take off there. I think all planes have stopped now. I mean, even if I wanted to go back to England, I think we're in lockdown, so we can't. And it's absolutely beautiful the way the planes take off so close to you, so close to the mountains and the sea. And Christ the Redeemer's over there, and just over the beach, the planes fly over you, over the beach. It's the most... I've never been to a city that's just so... Other people disagree, and I see why they disagree, because it's dirty, especially in the city centre. But they don't go to the nice places. And this walk is actually lush. There's some freights there. I just imagine myself the adventures that, the adventure part of me that wanted to feel after a lifetime being not a lifetime, but my youth being trapped in a prison in Manchester. you're always fighting, always training, and it becomes, when you're a fighter, it just becomes like a prison itself. So yeah, like, as I was saying, like when you meet someone, the young girls, they always, young people, young naive people who are raised on Disney movies and love and all these movies, and they don't understand everything that's being fed to you is the enemy. They don't realise that because it's made to be your best friend. The most dangerous, worst kind of enemy in the world is the one that you think is your friend until the last minute. The one thing that thinks your friend, and people always think, oh no, you're this, you're that, and they feed you labels that are being fed to them the whole life. And whenever there's labels, whenever there's limitation, well, then there's any kind of name or system or categorization that always leads to, that seeps into the rest of your life and leads to misery and limitation and frustration. That's why those young girls are always stressed, like, and they're always like putting tons of makeup on and stressed all the time, and looking, some of them are looking anorexic or really thin, especially in Buenos Aires, and trying to think, oh, I need surgery, I need this, I need that, I need this, and they're never free. And they don't realise that freedom from all that will lead to the beauty that they are after. You know, the glowing, you know, I mean, I met girls that don't look attractive online, but in person they are so sexy that they attract everybody. And then I met girls who look sexy on pictures, but up close in person are disgusting. And it's all fake. They all have a desperate need to be fulfilled by pixels and things online. And yeah, the tide's come up, as you can see. It was in the news today, the other day, that the tide washed away all the stuff in the streets, which is okay this time because they have a lockdown, so no one's in the streets. Even that sea looks inviting. I just want to dive in that sea right now. It's really inviting, really clean. Now there's no people on the streets because they say in Italy the waters are clean. But yeah, even like I said, I met this girl in Fortaleza. She came over to my hotel room and I was thinking, oh no, I've got to work out, I've got to be perfect, I've got to be clean, I've got to do this. And in the back of my head I was like, I just want to chill out. I just want to chill out and have pizza, you know, and watch Netflix. I don't want to, you know. And then I realised, oh, I could have got a disease, I could have got a sexual disease or something. Obviously I use protection, but there's always that risk. And I just, afterwards, after doing that a few times, I always regret it. Even no matter how hot they are, I only do it with like really super hot girls, like 9 out of 10s that look like that online. But 9 out of 10 times, those girls will not be like that in person. It's all makeup, it's all fakery, it's all filters, it's all, because even when we were in the 90s, or you know, I was raised in the 90s, so even the girls then, they didn't look super sexy compared to the girls that in Instagram these days. And that's because they didn't have the fakery and filters and all the tons of new makeup that's come out. And all the makeup does is pollute their face, you know, it makes their skin horrible. The best girls I've ever seen, and they always use that after a certain age. When you reach age 18, girls these days are using them like 14, and they don't understand they are killing their sexiness and their beauty. So by the time when it becomes useful, when they are like in the 20s or when they get a brain of their own, they're already looking 60 years old. That's why there's girls in Buenos Aires and Argentina, they end up hating them. They're so stressful that you can't talk to them and just feel peace. You talk to a Brazilian, you can just feel really chill and really relaxed. Especially the ones in Buenos Aires, probably not the city girls, but you talk to a Buenos Aires girl and you just feel really stressed because they're so miserable. They're so stressed out because they never got fulfillment or that sex or whatever they were after, or you know, being used, all the dreams or whatever they're after in life, because they were deluded and used makeup and used fakery, and they consumed the government's lies and everything and the media's lies to make them miserable. Let's get a drink, I'm thirsty after. Oh, there's no, it's all beer and alcohol. Hola amigo, tem suco? No, tem suco. Suco? Suco. Guaraviton?
Só água e cerveja. Água e grama.
It's all just beer. Yeah, like I say, you get guys like that, they get homeless looking guys that are just on the streets everywhere, they're harmless. A lot of them grab your shirt and everything. So yeah, don't be deluded by the lifetime of lies, by online and by screen. It's all lies. 99% of it is just all lies, all bullshit through a screen. Except for these videos. Yeah, everyone's a hypocrite, no one's perfect. This is Candelaria. Rio de Janeiro is huge, by the way. We haven't even reached nowhere even near Copacabana or Ipanema, the main touristy best places. I don't like touristy places, I like the places like Badajuka. But I don't want to say that, I don't want people to go there and ruin it. Because Badajuka, Niterói, they're the beautiful places. There's actually some people out here on the streets now. This place is usually a bit packed. They have a boat here, this boat, I think that's the famous pirate boat. They have like some kind of a famous, is that the boat? I'm not sure, because it doesn't look like it can house a party. They have a party boat where people go on and say what happens if the boat stays in the boat. It's like a party people have, but that's just like a pirate boat. It's really weird. Yeah, they have military police everywhere. People in the masks everywhere. Got to keep your distance. But yeah, this is when I first got excited. You know, when you first follow your heart and follow your instinct, which is always hard, because people just love to stay in the especially in this day and age. It's getting worse and worse of each year, because people are getting more spoilt by Netflix, by fast food, and everything, and they never fulfill their potential. And if they never fulfill their potential, then they never have the sex or the freedom or the pleasure that they always wanted. And that's just a lot of the universe, it's the energy. You can't sit on your ass and be polluted and expect, you know, because eventually it affects your testosterone, it affects your womb, or if you're a girl, it affects your womb. And that's why our girls age like 10 times faster these days. You look about 60 years old at 20, and they spend their lifetimes sitting on their ass, being spoilt, having money sent to them from guys in Dubai, you know, who pay them pictures of their little toe, and they never fulfill their potential, and they're all miserable. Even at 17, I've seen girls that went under makeup and they look like 35 years old, you know, and because they're so miserable, they're deluded by a lifetime of lies. All they have to do is sit on their ass and get everything paid for them, send a picture of themselves to some guy and have everything given to them, and they never have to move, and they get TV shows and media and pizza just all given to them, and that's obviously going to lead to, because sex is the only thing, so that might show that might be proof that sex is the only thing that gives real sex, real exchange of pleasure is the only thing that gives real fulfillment, and that's where life is born, you know, it's where everything real is born, and they don't have that. They all look miserable. You find me one girl online, one e-girl they had to call, who radiates happiness, sex. Same video. You find me one girl who radiates that sexiness, that, you know, like in the 90s you had like Angelina Jolie as Tomb Raider. You can't find a girl that's like that. A real woman who is sexually fulfilled and fulfilled, happy, you know, from being strong. They're not like that because they're all weak. They're all the equivalent of 90% of them are the equivalent of. And I'm going to get a lot of labels or hate for saying this, but I don't give a shit. I don't need people. Other people need people, so they need to lie to them and make them deluded. Yeah, 90% of them are, you know, spoilt, deluded. The equivalent of spoilt, deluded fat pigs who are just fed sugar and fat and dopamine the whole life, and they never achieve the sex or the freedom or whatever they want. And you can see that in their eyes, that energy, because they're miserable. Because when a bitchy girl comes up to you and acts all bitchy, that's because she's weak and she's never had the orgasm or whatever she's always dreamed of, or the fulfillment, which brings fulfillment, it brings health, because they're deluded by lies, which media is lying to our girls to make them think, oh, sex is bad, sex is perverted, sex, this is, all guys are perverted and all this kind of stuff, because obviously the world's becoming overpopulated and nobody, you know, everybody wants people to stop having sex and just kill themselves. Even everyone in the streets, everybody hates everybody right now. Me included, you know, I'm kind of glad for this quarantine. When I'm going to the gym or when I'm going to the sea, I'm trying to get some nature to, you know, because I don't chase people, I follow the sea and the beach and nature and everything that gives me life, you know, those are the real things. But yeah, and when I was walking the streets, I was just thinking, I just wish everyone would just fuck off and die. Sometimes I just think that, you know, and I think a lot of people do, especially in this day and age, because of everyone deluded by a screen. It's the part when another part where it came to me when I saw the sea. And I kind of like, it's kind of peaceful, this quarantine. When I go to the sea now, when I go to the beach, I'm the only one who knows that, you know, kind of private beach, you know, who has the strength to not follow the police. Because most people in Brazil, they've got, oh, the police said this, they said that, the rules are this, you've got to follow the rules no matter. They don't question them, they don't follow their own instinct, they follow the rules, which is why they end up miserable. Because all the rules are just trying to put people in place to be miserable. This was jam-packed. 1 month ago during Carnival, this was the complete opposite of this. You couldn't move anywhere without being robbed, groped or anything. And it stunk, and the poles were shaking and everything from people shaking it. It was like something out of a Mad Max movie. Absolutely insane, and kind of dangerous and dirty at the same time. This is not the place you want to come for Carnival. You want to go to Ipanema, nice places. Yeah, and they follow the rules, but I like to go to the beach, and I have the beach to myself because no one. There's quite a little Devil's Beach that I showed you. Apador, you have to climb over it. And, you have to climb over the rocks. It's a bit dangerous, not that dangerous. The police can't see you there, but even if they do, they allow people there. And I go there at least once a week. I try and make it like a few times a week, and that gives me peace, you know. And that gives me peace more than everybody else is trying to chase the same bullshit thing, you know, chase fakery, and they never have the orgasm of fulfillment they're after. Then they wonder why, and everyone does that at night. You don't find any different. But yeah, she's gonna finish now because they have the beach just up there. If you saw my other video, which was when I came back to Rio from Paraguay about 2 months ago, I did a video on flamenco where I got robbed in flamenco, and that's just up there. So we've done in all these videos now, we've done like a complete circle of Rio. So if you start with the flamenco video and then go into the Ipanema video, and then the Copacabana video, then the Ipanema video, and this video, that's like a complete circle of Rio de Janeiro. All in like 4 videos. Oh, this needs some juice. There's an acai place open here. I get some oakberry fruit acai. Anyways, this guy's gonna give us some money to this guy. Oh, charge amigo. Tem comida? Comida?
Ração para
Sim,
a minha cachorra.
Sim, tem.
Comida.
Sim, tudo bem.
Dá uma ajuda